Hello, what is up? We are here in my studio, and today I'm going to be running through my new track called Dimension X. So the first main thing is the kick drum. It's a kick drum that's tuned to the key of the track, which is G. So there it is there. The only processing on the kick sample that I've done is just boosted around 200 hertz, which is where G hits. That's just to make it knock a bit more. I've then layered that with a couple layers. So there's like a top kick to give it more click. And then I've got this like loop where I've cut out the lows with the EQ. And for some reason I've got another click. And then all together, you got a slam and kick. And I've done no processing on that. Normally I would probably like compress it all together so it's one solid unit, but for some reason I haven't. Next, the most important next thing is probably the bass line in the drop. So here we go. This is what it sounds like. So that's also playing G. And the synth is a silent patch. So here it is here. The main characteristic of the bass is the distortion. So that's without it. And then with it. So I think the bass is like it's a triangle waveform with the filter on it. And then the distortion that really brings the sound to life. I just got some EQ on there, cutting out the lows because the kick's doing most of the lows for the drop. And then, what else? I've got another EQ, but that's just like acting as a filter for the build-ups. And then I've got some reverb and of course, LFO tool. Just to make room for that kick when the kick clicks in. Next, we have the... I'll do the drums. So we've got some toms here. So for the toms, I've just used drum loops, and then I've used volume automation to get rid of the bits that I didn't want. So that's the loop. This is how it originally sounded. So I just wanted the toms, so I've just soldered them out. And I've done that for all of them, so this next loop, I've just muted the parts I didn't want, and then what's this one? Same thing. So I've just used the volume automation to... So I'm just using the bits I want, so then all together... Pretty driving. And then I've also got some more tribally stuff. When I played the track out in the clubs, I realized it was missing some more percussion-y stuff. So I've got these just to keep the track moving a bit more. So they're more tom sounds, and then I've EQ'd out all the tops. So you can see that's 300 hertz, and then so that's what it originally sounded like, and I just cut out all that just so you hear the rumble. So altogether, pretty chunky. I just wanted this track to be like really chunky and not too many sounds. Okay, next we've got more hi-hats and clap percussion. So same thing again, I've just used loops and then used the volume automation to select the bits that I wanted. So this bit's the clap, for instance. Little more clicks. And I've programmed some hi-hats here. I normally drag in like heaps of samples that could work, and then I when the track's playing, I can move the samples around and preview different samples. Until I like the ones that that fit best. So that's those things. There's no processing on these either. Normally I compress everything together, but what I actually did with this track was, when it was at this stage, I bounced all the parts out, and then in a new session I kind of mixed it down a bit more. So that's why there's no, I've got no EQ or no compression on these groups. Next we've got, I might look at the leads. So in the drops, super simple drops. I actually knew how I wanted it to sound, so I wanted to have this big dirty bass, which is what we heard earlier, and then I wanted to contrast that with a really dry, almost small sound, which I come up with it's just a little high pitched tom, and I think it's hitting D. So look. Yeah, so the bass is doing G, and then the toms are doing D, so it's a fifth up, so it's dun 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 dun, that old classic pattern. And then the second part of the drops is a serum patch, sorry. It's almost like a dog barking. It's a patch from Shocking Arabic Trap for Serum. So there's some really cool sounds in that, actually. Got my Valhalla reverb, bit of ping pong delay, overdrive, which is smashing it pretty hard. Some EQ, because you can see there's like heaps of lows in the sound, so I'm chopping out all that. And then I boosted the highs so it can cut through in the mix a bit more. I've also got this wobble thing going on there. Which is Silence again. I use Silence Heaps, so it's just got the LFO, which is doing the wobbling. And I can hear bit crusher on there. And then the bit crusher normally gives it too many highs, so you can see without it, yeah, you can see the frequencies that the bit crusher adds on the top here. So I normally just use the EQ8 and just cut those out. So yeah, okie dokie. The vocal play that beat, blah, 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 is a vocal sample. What do you know? But what I did was, so the original sample was this. Play that beat. Play that beat. Yeah, so I put the sample, I repitched it and then put it into a sampler so I could play each hit when I wanted to. And then for the build up, I just looped the last one and then did a little pitch thing there. So pretty basic stuff there. But then that's mostly it. Like I said, I bounced this out each stem individually. I bounced out like 10 stems or something and then put that into a new project. And then gave it a little mix down after that, just simple EQing and some glue compression, and that was it. Track's done. So yeah, just a straight up club thing. I like doing tracks like that, like the Quack and this. And yeah, I always like to play things, to make things that I can play in my sets. That's why I like making tracks like this. All right, hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them.